There are knives built for display cases. There are knives built for light camp work. And then there are knives built for the kind of extreme, unforgiving, punishing use that breaks ordinary blades in half and exposes cheap steel for exactly what it is. Today we are talking about that third category, the heavy-duty Bowie knives that were engineered specifically to take abuse, survive punishment, and keep performing long after lesser blades have failed completely. The Bowie knife is the most powerful and historically significant blade design in American history. The market is flooded with oversized, chrome-plated, ornamental blades that look the part but crumble the moment they meet real work. A genuine heavy-duty Bowie knife, one actually built for extreme use, starts with premium steel at serious thickness, continues through a handle system designed to absorb punishment and maintain grip under the worst conditions, and finishes with a sheath built to protect and carry a blade that weighs as much as a small hatchet. We will discuss from number 10 all the way down to the absolute hardest-working Bowie knife on the planet. Let's get into it right now. Number 10. Schrade SCHF 45 Large Bowie. A knife that makes a powerful first impression and backs it up with genuine field performance that surprises a lot of people who assume a Schrade at this price cannot possibly deliver serious heavy-duty capability. Schrade has been manufacturing working knives for over a century, and the SCHF 45 draws on that manufacturing experience to produce a large fixed blade that competes well above its price bracket in every meaningful performance category. The blade is 8.9 inches of 1075 high-carbon steel, a tough, forgiving carbon steel alloy that Schrade heat treats to a hardness of approximately 56 to 58 HRC, with a clear priority on toughness and impact resistance over maximum edge hardness. At nearly 9 inches, the SCHF 45 blade generates serious mechanical advantage during chopping strokes. The blade mass combined with the length creates a forward-weighted dynamic that drives through green wood, heavy vegetation, and tough camp materials with far less effort than shorter blades require. The blade profile is a classic Bowie clip point with a dramatically sweeping belly that starts deep near the guard and reaches its widest point at approximately 60% of the blade length before tapering cleanly to the characteristic clip point tip. The blade spine is 6 millimeters thick across the full length, a serious structural measurement that provides rigid, flex-free backbone for hard battening, prying, and impact tasks without transmitting uncomfortable vibration through the handle. The overall knife length is 14 inches and the total weight is approximately 14 ounces. Heavy by EDC standards, but exactly appropriate for a blade designed for extreme use. The included nylon sheath features a built-in fire striker and sharpening rod. Practical field tools that travel with a knife at all times. The Schrade SCHF 45 is a compelling and capable starting point. Number 9. Cold Steel Trail Master Bowie, a knife with a genuine record of extreme performance that goes back decades. Cold Steel introduced the Trail Master as their answer to the question of what the finest large-format working Bowie knife should look like. And they answer that question with a blade that has been field-proven across every imaginable environment from dense jungle to high desert to Arctic conditions. The blade is 9.5 inches of carbon V steel, Cold Steel's proprietary high-carbon alloy that has been their signature material for hard-use fixed blades throughout their production history. Carbon V achieves approximately 57 to 59 HRC after Cold Steel's heat treatment, with a toughness profile that is specifically tuned for large blades experiencing the kind of impact loading that extended chopping, battening, and heavy field work generates. At 9.5 inches, the Trail Master blade is long enough to function effectively as a light machete, clearing brush, processing large game, splitting firewood, and handling any camp task that demands genuine blade reach and mass. The blade thickness at the spine is 7 millimeters, one of the thickest blade spines on any production Bowie knife. And that thickness is what gives the Trail Master its extraordinary chopping power and resistance to lateral flexing under hard use. 7 millimeters of spine steel means this blade does not flex, does not vibrate, and does not hesitate during the hardest chopping and battening work you can put it through. The flat grind runs cleanly from spine to edge, producing a geometry that is efficient for slicing while maintaining enough material behind the edge to resist rolling during hard cuts through tough material. The SecurX sheath is deep, secure, and built to handle the rigors of field carry. This is an absolute workhorse of a Bowie knife. Number 8. Becker BK9 Combat Bowie. The blade is 9 inches of 1095 Crovan high-carbon steel, a modified 1095 alloy with added chromium and vanadium that improves corrosion resistance, increases toughness, and enhances wear resistance without sacrificing the field sharpenability that makes 1095 carbon steel so universally respected. The steel is hardened to 56 to 58 HRC, a range Becker specifically selected to maximize toughness and impact resistance for a blade that will regularly experience the shock loading of hard chopping, battening, and prying. 9 inches of 1095 Crovan at this spine thickness creates a chopping tool of genuine authority. The blade mass and length work together to generate significant mechanical advantage during downward chopping strokes, making wood processing, brush clearing, and heavy camp work substantially less fatiguing than working with shorter or thinner blades. The blade profile is a modified clip point with a slightly upswept cutting edge that increases the belly curve and improves the knife's draw-cut performance for slicing tasks. The false edge along the clip spine runs nearly the full length of the tip section and adds secondary cutting capability near the point. The blade spine is 6.5 millimeters thick, a structural measurement that gives the BK9 rigid, flex-free backbone across the full 9-inch length, eliminating blade flutter during hard chopping strokes. The convex micro-bevel applied to the final edge creates a cutting surface that is uniquely resistant to rolling and chipping under the lateral stress that extreme-use blades regularly encounter. The convex geometry is specifically superior to flat and hollow grinds for impact resistance at the edge. The total knife length is 14.25 inches and the weight is 16.9 ounces. The Kydex sheath is MAL-compatible and deep carry secure. KBAR backs this knife with their quality guarantee. Number 7. Ontario Knife Company ESEE 8 Survival Bowie, a knife that approaches the size and chopping capability of machete while maintaining the structural integrity and all-purpose performance of a serious fixed-blade Bowie. Ontario Knife Company's credentials are impeccable. Over a century of military knife production has given them a manufacturing precision and material knowledge that very few production knife companies can match. The ESEE 8 blade is 10 inches of 1075 high-carbon steel, Ontario's preferred alloy for large field blades, chosen specifically for its extraordinary toughness at the lower hardness range. Ontario heat treats the 1075 to approximately 52 to 57 HRC, a range that prioritizes impact toughness above all else. At this hardness level, the steel deforms under extreme stress rather than chipping or cracking, which in a survival scenario means the difference between a blade that can be repaired in the field and one that is permanently broken. The blade profile on the ESEE 8 is a broad, aggressive clip point Bowie with the widest blade on our entire list. The maximum blade width of 1.9 inches creates a large, heavy cutting platform that concentrates maximum mass at the widest point for devastating chopping impact. The sweeping belly geometry runs from a deep choil near the guard to that wide midsection before tapering to the clip point tip, creating a versatile cutting profile that handles everything from machete-style slashing strokes to controlled skinning cuts with equal effectiveness. The false edge along the clip spine is sharpened to a functional secondary edge for dual-edge cutting capability near the tip. The blade spine is 6 millimeters thick across the full length, providing solid, rigid backbone for sustained battening and chopping work. The overall knife length is 15.5 inches and the total weight is 19.2 ounces, the heaviest knife reviewed so far on this list, and that mass is the direct source of its extraordinary chopping power. Number 6. ESEE Junglas 2, the largest, most capable knife that ESEE has ever put into production, and a blade that was born from the specific demands of professional jungle survival instructors who needed a single large fixed blade capable of replacing multiple tools in the field. It is a knife that the most experienced survival professionals in the world carry with absolute confidence. The blade is 9.25 inches of 1095 high-carbon steel, the longest blade in the ESEE lineup and the most mass-forward cutting tool they produce. The 1095 steel is hardened to 55 to 57 HRC, a toughness-first range that ESEE deliberately selects for large blades intended for sustained jungle use, where lateral impact loads from chopping dense tropical vegetation are constant and severe. A blade that chips under these conditions is useless. ESEE's toughness priority heat treatment ensures the Junglas 2 edge deforms rather than fractures under extreme stress, keeping the knife functional even after sustained heavy use without sharpening. The blade profile is a dramatic, broad clip point Bowie with the deepest belly on any knife at this size. The curve sweeps aggressively from near the guard all the way to the widest point of the blade, creating maximum forward mass for devastating chopping strokes through dense tropical wood and heavy brush. The blade width at maximum measures 1.75 inches, broad enough to create serious chopping impact, and wide enough to serve as an effective splitting wedge when driven through wood with a batten. The blade spine is 6 millimeters thick, eliminating any flex during hard impact work. The full false edge along the clip can be sharpened to a secondary cutting surface. The micarta handle on the Junglas 2 is ESEE's finest ergonomic work. The contouring positions the hand perfectly for full power chopping strokes while remaining comfortable during precision cutting tasks. This is genuinely one of the finest extreme use Bowie knives ever manufactured. Number 5. Cold Steel Laredo Bowie, the most aggressively large and visually imposing production Bowie knife on this entire list, and a blade that Cold Steel built with zero compromises on size, steel mass, or chopping capability. Cold Steel approaches knife design with an engineering philosophy that prioritizes measurable, testable performance above all other considerations, and the Laredo Bowie is the purest expression of that philosophy applied to the Bowie format. The blade is 11 full inches of carbon V steel, the longest blade on our list and the most mass-forward chopping tool in the production Bowie category. 11 inches of carbon V at Cold Steel's 57 to 59 HRC heat treatment creates a cutting lever of extraordinary mechanical advantage. The blade mass at full extension generates chopping force that makes the Laredo genuinely effective as a field machete and light hatchet, able to process firewood of substantial diameter, clear dense brush and undergrowth, and split large game carcasses with authority and efficiency. The blade profile features Cold Steel's signature exaggerated false edge running the full length of the clip section. This false edge is aggressively beveled and sharpened to a full secondary cutting surface, creating a near double-edge configuration near the tip that is highly effective for upward thrusting, back cut strokes, and the kind of close-quarters utility that a large blade needs to handle in confined field situations. The blade thickness at the spine is 6.5 millimeters. 11 inches of spine steel at that thickness represents a serious mass of rigid, flex-free material that eliminates blade flutter during the hardest chopping strokes and provides the prying resistance of a dedicated tool. The overall length is 16.75 inches, commanding, substantial, and unlike anything else you will carry into the field in 2026. Number 4. KBAR BKR 7 Combat Utility Bowie, a knife that represents the intersection of KBAR's century-plus military manufacturing heritage and Becker's uncompromising hard-use design philosophy, producing a fixed blade that is arguably the most complete extreme-use Bowie on this list in terms of balancing raw power with practical all-around field utility. This is a blade that was designed not just to chop and slash, but to handle the complete range of tasks that a field knife is required to perform, from fine food preparation to heavy wood processing to emergency rescue situations, and to perform each of those tasks with genuine excellence. The blade is 7 inches of 1095 Crowvan high-carbon steel, a blade length that sits in the ideal zone for all-around extreme-use Bowie performance, long enough to generate meaningful chopping advantage while remaining balanced and controllable enough for precision cutting tasks that longer blades struggle with. The 1095 Crowvan alloy adds chromium and vanadium to the base 1095 carbon steel, improving corrosion resistance and enhancing toughness and wear resistance across the demanding range of tasks this knife is designed for. The steel is hardened to 56 to 58 HRC, a toughness priority range that ensures the blade withstands lateral impact loads without chipping while maintaining sufficient hardness for good edge retention through sustained field use. The blade profile is a classic clip-point Bowie with a strong, reinforced tip that is specifically designed to handle piercing, prying, and puncturing tasks without snapping. The tip geometry is thick enough to be structural, but fine enough to be precise and controllable for detail work. The blade spine is 6 millimeters thick across the full length, providing rigid, flex-free backbone for battening, prying, and chopping. The overall knife length is 11.875 inches, and the weight is 13.6 ounces. Well-balanced and manageable for all-day carry. Number 3. Condor Tool and Knife Bowie Knife 60101. This is a knife that surprises virtually everyone who picks it up for the first time. Every Condor blade is shaped, ground, and finished by hand, not by automated production machinery, and that human craftsmanship produces a fit, finish, and feel that machine-stamp production knives at similar prices simply cannot match. The blade is 9 inches of 1075 high-carbon steel, hand-ground to a traditional Bowie clip-point profile with a long, sweeping belly that is one of the finest examples of that geometry on any production Bowie knife in this category. The 1075 steel is hardened to approximately 57 to 59 HRC, a hardness range that gives the blade excellent edge retention for a carbon steel at this price, while maintaining the toughness characteristics that 1075 is known for across its long history of use in working knives and tools. The rigid blade geometry that provides enormous structural strength while still transitioning to a lean, efficient cutting edge at the very bottom of the bevel. This geometry is exceptionally well suited for extreme heavy-duty use. The thick blade geometry behind the grind line gives the knife the structural mass to handle battening, prying, and hard chopping, while the thin edge geometry at the cutting surface allows the blade to slice through material with less resistance than a full-thickness blade would produce. Condor uses quality tropical hardwood species that are dense, resistant to moisture, and beautiful in the hand, fitted over a full length, tang and secured with brass rivets. The genuine leather sheath is hand-stitched, formed to the blade profile, and finished to a standard that matches the quality of the knife itself. Condor backs every knife with their warranty and the confidence of a manufacturer with genuine craftsmanship heritage. The Condor Bowie 60101 is proof that handcrafted quality, premium materials, and extreme use capability do not have to come at a premium price. Number 2. Tops Knives Tom Brown Tracker Bowie. The runner-up position. Number 2 belongs to the Tops Knives Tom Brown Tracker Bowie, and this is a knife that occupies a completely unique position in the production Bowie market. The blade is 4.75 inches, shorter than most knives on this list, but the design philosophy of the Tracker is one of multi-function versatility rather than brute chopping power, and those 4.75 inches are among the most intelligently designed blade inches on any production knife. The blade is constructed from 1095 high-carbon steel, Tops' preferred alloy for hard-use field knives, hardened to approximately 56 to 58 HRC with a toughness priority profile that ensures the blade handles sustained field use without failure. The Tracker blade profile is the defining feature of this knife and what makes it genuinely unique on this list. It features not one but 3 distinct cutting surfaces built into a single blade. The primary cutting edge runs along the bottom of the blade in a conventional position. A second cutting surface, the gut hook, is integrated into the spine near the handle, specifically designed for opening game animals cleanly without puncturing organs. The third cutting surface is a saw section cut directly into the spine of the blade, running for approximately 2 inches toward the tip. The saw teeth are aggressive, widely set, and capable of cutting through bone, hardwood branches, and cordage with a back-and-forth stroke. This 3-in-1 blade design makes the Tracker a field processing tool of extraordinary versatility. It handles skinning, field dressing, bone processing, fire preparation, and cordage work as separate, optimized operations using different parts of the same blade. The blade is coated with a black tumbled finish that protects against corrosion and reduces light reflection. The overall knife length is 10.5 inches and the weight is 11 ounces, relatively light for a blade of this capability. Number 1. Bark River Bravo Necker Bowie. This knife earns the top position on this list by delivering something that no other production Bowie knife can match. Handcrafted American precision combined with premium powder metallurgy steel in a blade that is simultaneously the most capable cutting tool and the most beautifully constructed knife on this entire countdown. The blade is 7.5 inches of CPM 3V steel, and this material choice is the single most important specification on this entire list. CPM 3V is a premium powder metallurgy tool steel produced by Crucible Industries, and it was specifically engineered for applications demanding maximum toughness combined with excellent edge retention. The powder metallurgy production process creates an extraordinarily fine, homogeneous carbide distribution throughout the steel microstructure. This microscopic uniformity is what gives CPM 3V its remarkable combination of properties that conventional steels cannot simultaneously achieve. Bark River heat treats CPM 3V to 60 to 61 HRC, a hardness level that delivers outstanding edge retention, the ability to achieve a frighteningly sharp final edge through proper technique, and exceptional resistance to corrosion and staining. What separates CPM 3V from every other steel on this list at that hardness level is its toughness. Conventional high-carbon steels at 60 plus HRC become brittle and highly prone to chipping under lateral impact, but CPM 3V's powder metallurgy microstructure maintains extraordinary impact resistance even at that hardness, making it genuinely immune to the chipping and fracture that limits conventional steels in extreme hard-use applications. This means the Bark River Bravo Bowie has an edge that stays sharper for longer than any other knife on this list, sharpens to a finer final edge than any other knife on this list, and is more resistant to chipping and impact damage under extreme use than any other knife on this list simultaneously.